Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you guys are doing real good. Hopefully you guys are healthy. You guys are, being productive during this, stay home order. I'm gonna be showing you guys today triangle choke. A triangle choke, a beginner part of a triangle choke. So it's a triangle choke that I teach all the white belts, all the beginners, and I try to break it down as much as I can because in future lessons, when the techniques are more intermediate advanced, it's important that you, the beginning student, understands the details that go behind a very strong, powerful triangle, a triangle choke. Now, a triangle choke, you do it from your back, and we've been discussing the stages of the guard, stages 1 through 5, but mainly it begins from stage 1. Just like in the previous lesson, we did the arm lock, where the bad guy puts his hands through in stage 1, and you catch him with a low variation of the arm lock. Now, in this case, the bad guy, he's not going to swing his hands through. Even though there's different ways to do the triangle choke, I'm going to show you a very basic way that you can use when somebody punches you in what we call in the basic combatants a 1.5 series. Now, before I begin to teach you the move, I first have to break down the actual triangle, the triangle choke, how it works. So that way, once I teach you the entry, you'll be able to connect the entry with the actual application of the finish. Okay? The finishing part is, of course, the most important, but the most important part of the triangle is understanding that you have to control the bad guy first. In future lessons, in the intermediate part, I'll show you guys how to protect the center line, the back side, the front side, stack prevention, and different shots of how to get into the triangle position. Okay? So let's begin. I'm going to first show you the basic application of how triangle works, the anatomy of what's going on once you do the actual move to finish. Check it out. Alejandro's going to help you guys today. Again, he's a real good assistant. Now, the triangle begins like this. This right here is the triangle when your feet are locked. This is the actual, like the setup, okay? Not the entry, but the setup. We're here already, okay? Now, it's important that I teach you this first because the rest is actually easier than this. This involves more details, more steps to finish. Sometimes we go for this move once you learn it and you forget a lot of details and the bad guy escapes, okay? So first of all, the feet are trapping this arm. Could be either or, but for right now it's this one. And my feet are crossed on his back, okay? It's like if I was in the guard, but this arm right here is gonna be inside like this, okay? Make sure that the back part of your knee is on his shoulder, not the calf, the back part of your knee, right on his shoulder. This other leg over here has to be under the armpit, nice and high, not low, and your feet need to be crossed, just like that. See? Now, from here, it's very important that in a fight, because this triangle that I'm going to show you is like if you were in a fight, okay? In a bit, I'm going to show you how you got here. But right now, say you already here, okay? Now, the reason it's called a triangle is because of this. Check it out. This is the actual triangle choke, okay? If you notice, it looks like a triangle. See that? That's what's called a triangle choke. Very powerful choke, okay? Now, let me show you how to get to the actual choke. Once you have your legs locked, it's important that we control the neck. Controlling the neck is a bloodline of this move. If I don't control the neck, he's always going to be getting his posture, and then I won't be able to do the move, okay? So it's very important that once you lock here, you go for the neck, right here, okay? Once you have the neck, you control everything. Make sure also to be aware that this guy right here in the fight, he can still throw punches. See that? He can still punch my body, he can still reach my face, see? So you need to be aware of that too. So if I'm controlling his neck, and say he wants to punch with this hand. I block. See, I have this hand to block. He wants to punch with the other one. I have this hand to block those punches. But during that, I'm still controlling the neck. Okay? Now, once we're here controlling the neck, we need to bring this arm. We need to bring this arm. We need to bring it across like this. Okay? Now, when we bring this arm across, we don't go and grab it and just try to bring it across because he's gonna fight for it, you see? As you're controlling the neck, I'm gonna bring my hips up like this. I'm gonna bring my hips off the ground. And it makes his arm kind of like extend a little bit. It becomes straight now. And it kind of lifts his arm, see that? It's off the ground. Now it'll be easier to manipulate, to bring across like this, you see? So I'm like this right now, controlling the neck. Then I shoot my hips up. Now this hand comes under or over, you can grab whatever, and you can use whatever grip. I like to come under and grab the wrist with both hands like this. Then I can bring the arm across. Now my hips can go back down, and immediately, while this hand is controlling his wrist, this hand goes back to the neck. See that? But I have his arm already across right now. So once I have his arm across, now from here I can let go of this wrist. And now my hand goes back and help this other hand to keep his posture, keep his head down. Okay? Now look at what's going to happen next. This foot right here is going to go to his hip. So I uncross my legs and this foot goes to the hip. Now from here, I'm going to start walking up or north of him. I'm going to start walking away from him. And as I'm walking away from him, this other leg is driving the back part of my knee into his shoulder as this one is pushing this way. So this one is pushing from his hip and this one is pushing the shoulder. What that does is that when I'm walking away this way, this foot is coming higher and higher to the back of his neck. You see? So if we turn this way, you'll be able to see this leg climbing higher and higher to the back of his neck like this. You see? So if I'm like this right now, you see? Now, let me do it again. To bring the arm across, I bring my hips off the ground like this. See that? Now this hand comes under and I bring the arm across. See? Now once I bring the arm across, this hand immediately goes to the neck. Now this foot goes to the hip. And look at my body right now. Look at where I am. Look at how close we are. And as I start walking back, you see that? I go a little farther away from him. And this leg starts climbing. The calf starts climbing higher to the back of his neck. Once my hand is close enough to make an exchange, I'll grab my ankle right here. You see that? Most common mistake here is a person grabs your foot. Don't grab your foot. Because you're going to be pulling your foot down and you're going to be hurting your ankle as you're pulling your foot down. Okay? So it's important that you guys grab your ankle right here. So once you grab your ankle, now look at this leg. This one right here, it comes over and the back part of my knee finds the ankle. See that? So I put my toes up like this. See that arch right there? The back of my knee finds that target. Okay? So I need to be facing him. Now look, I lock it, and immediately my hands, both of them go to the neck. Now the triangle here, it's important you understand the finish too. The knees pinch together, the head is coming down, and my hips are going up. So what's going on with the triangle? When you guys are finishing your opponent, you're choking like this and like this. So when you bring that head down and your hips come up, you're already like compressing him like this. And then when your knees pinch together, you're compressing this way. So your triangle choke is doing a lot of compression from different angles. causing a lot of pressure. So what happens is that when the arm is like this, your leg is squeezing against his artery here. And the other leg is squeezing his arm against the other artery. And then you're bringing the head down and your hips are going up. So you're squeezing everything right to the target, which is the main arteries that take the blood to the brain. So what happens? The person will pass out. They'll go to sleep. Now in a self-defense scenario, I'd rather deal with a sleeping bad guy than an aggressive crazy guy. So if I catch somebody in a triangle, if you catch somebody in a triangle, make sure you squeeze until they pass out. Then you can let go. You can let go, leave him alone, walk away. He'll wake up and he'll figure it out. He'll be like, what happened? But it's okay. Give him your business card and tell him, I'll give you a private triangle. But, check it out. Here we go. One more time. Now the triangle, if you got long legs, you're a lucky guy, lucky girl. If you got short legs like me, then you really gotta work. So that's why I'm teaching you these details so that you can be able to connect that triangle. Now, I like the triangle. And a lot of people don't throw it because they lose that confidence because they're missing details. I was one of those. But once I started learning the details and understanding the details, if the opportunity was there, I would throw the triangle. You see? But, check it out. Basic application of the triangle. Remember, we started from here. In a little bit, I'm going to show you how to end up there. Like this. But make sure you understand that the back part of your knee is on the shoulder. And, let's turn this way. See this other leg? Under the armpit and then lock. This arm, we need to get rid of it. We need to take it over to the other side. So, I'm going to show you real quick. Let's turn this way. Now, take it out and go a little bit back. Right. Okay. Now, bringing this arm across. I already explained to you why it's called a triangle. Now, I'm going to break it down a little bit further. Common mistake in this part right here is that the person rushes the triangle when this guy is going crazy. So when you lock this position right here, you gotta control the neck, control him, you know, control, like he's gonna go crazy, control him until he's catching his breath. He cannot go crazy forever, kind of like the stage of the guard. You control the guy until, you know, you wither the storm. Once he takes a breather, that's when you bring his arm across. So you bring your hips off the ground, bring the arm across. See that? Bring it across. Once you bring it across, look at this hand. I grab the wrist and then I pin it against my thigh right here. Now this hand comes over and grabs the neck. You see? Now, this foot on the hip. This one on the hip. Let's turn this way so you can see that foot on the hip. You see that? See how my foot came to the hip? I'm still controlling the neck. Now I'm going to start back. I'm going to start walking away from him. And as I'm walking away from him, let's turn back. Look at this leg now. As I'm walking away, pushing off this foot, this leg is climbing behind the neck. I'm walking behind the neck. Now look at the switch off, because we're closed now. Boom, grab the ankle. Make sure though, when you grab the ankle, the other foot comes over, and the back of the knee finds that ankle, the arch of your foot. You see? Now, most common mistake is this. See that huge gap right there? They want to lock it with the toes. Don't use the toes. Use the arch of the ankle. Boom. Lock it deep. Okay? Now, once you lock it, the hands come to the neck. Just like this. Pinch your knees together. Bring that head down. And your hips go up and squeeze until they tap. Believe me, they'll tap. If you're training with your buddies, they will tap. If you're in the street, there's no tap out. In the street, there's no referees. There's no weight classes. There's no time limit. So it's important that in the street, if you do this move, you're only gonna have one shot to be perfect.
in connecting it. That's why it's important you guys drill it. If you guys are watching this video during this time, get with your son. Get with your son and practice this move. You know, you learn this move and perfect it, drill it. You see? That way, if you ever need it, you'll have it in your arsenal. It's better to know it when you need it than not know it and then need it. Then it's not gonna be good. So here we go. One more time. We start off with a feeder lock. Okay? This is the triangle, like the actual submission already. The setup to finish. I'm gonna show you the triangle entry in a bit, but right now this is the actual setup to finish a guy. Okay? So the feet are crossed and the hands are on the neck. Control it. Now we need to bring that hand across the border. Check it out. Hips come up and the hand comes across and then grab the neck. See that? And your feet are still crossed. You don't open your legs here. You keep them crossed. Now you open them. Put that foot on the hip as I showed you a little while ago, and you push off the hip and walk north. As you're walking north, this leg is pushing south. My hamstring is on the shoulder pushing south. Okay? Now as I'm walking, my leg's coming behind the neck. Now the switch out, boom, grab the ankle. This leg comes over, locks deep behind the knee. Hands up behind the neck, knees together, hips up, and then we squeeze. Okay? Now, remember, it's important that when you guys are doing this move, that you don't grab your foot. Don't grab your foot, because when this leg comes over, your hand's going to be in the way. And you won't be able to do it quick enough. But if your hand is grabbing your ankle, see that? See this gap, this little target right here? That's where the knee, the back of the knee, that's where it goes. Right there deep. See that? So you don't want to be like this. You're going to be squeezing and you're going to be ankle locking yourself. If you guys don't know what that is, later on I'll show you. Very painful. So the foot, don't grab it. Don't grab your toes. Grab your ankle, pull it, and then lock it like this. See that? So now I'm going to show you how the entry to the triangle. Okay? Check it out. So Alejandro's in my stage 1 of the guard. We already discussed this in another video. So the bad guy, you're in that position, the guy's already punching you, you already did all your blocking and stages of the guard, but the guy, he's now a little tired, you know, because you can't punch forever. And more than likely, the bad guy you will encounter in the street, maybe he's not in shape. Maybe he with all this COVID-19 that's going on, maybe he can't pay for the gym membership no more, so he's not in shape. And maybe it's too humid for him to run outside, so he's not in shape. And so you're in your stage 1 of the guard, right here. So he punches you on the rib, boom! Now it's a 1.5 because this other hand is not punching to where we're going to be stage 2 of the guard. So now it's 1.5. I'm grabbing the arm right here. But if you notice, this foot quickly comes and bites the back. I cannot be open because if he feels that the foot's not there, he's going to come up. So I meet this foot on his back because he wants to come up, he's stuck. You see that? Because of this foot on his back. And I'm still grabbing his arm. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to drive. My foot is on his hip right now, and it's, you know, I'm not gonna break down the stages of the guard because I did it in the last video. If you guys don't know it, you can go to the other videos and check out the stages of the guard. But here, I'm gonna go 1.5 and block with the shin, as you guys remember. Now, I'm gonna slide my hand to the wrist like this, as I drive my knee into his arm. See that? Boom. Super tight. Now look, I'm gonna push his wrist forward into him. So I'm gonna create a little gap right here where my foot can go through. And guess what? Does this look familiar? Triangle setup. You see that? Now, since I already explained to you what goes on here, now I can focus on the actual entry to the triangle. You see? So one more time, check it out. Like I said, there's different entries to the triangle. And the good part is that I already explained to you the basic application of the triangle. That way you can practice it. In case you were to learn another entry or some entries, you already know how to finish. Okay? So, let's move more this way. Now, from this position, like I said, you're controlling him on stage one. This is one entry in a fight. This entry for fighting, like I said, later on I'll show you different entries, like say you're competing or you're doing gi, no gi with your buddies or you're at a tournament. But right now, you're in a fight. So you're in a stage one of the guard, he punches, you block, boom. You see that? Notice how this foot quickly climbed to the back. And this foot, this one, right in the hip. Now, I'm controlling the neck. You see that? It's neck, arm, and then this foot. Look at all these connections. One more time, check it out. As he goes, go, boom. 1, 2, and 3. There's connections here. I got 3 connections. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Of course, I got the 4th one with the neck. But this was the most devastating one because he's punching. Okay? So, it's 4 connections. So I got his arm right here. Now I'm going to start dragging my knee to his bicep as I slide this hand to the wrist. Boom. Now you're going to push forward. Now your foot gets stuck in here. You can also extend your leg, push this leg. Look at, as I extend my leg, I can bring his wrist into his body, and now look, swing it over. You can come around and then still connect the triangle. Okay? One more time. Check it out. We're in stage 1. As he punches, boom. Most common mistake is not putting this leg on his back. That's a make it or break it detail right there. Because if this foot is not there, like I said, he will come up. And now it's a different ballgame. So I want this foot is important. It's got to be right here. Then the neck control, and then your hand right here behind his tricep. Then we drive the knee to his arm, slide the hand to the wrist, boom. You can push forward, get your foot through, and then connect with the triangle. And you guys know everything from here is standard, everything's standard, boom. Walk, 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 bring that calf behind his neck, switch off, lock it, put him to sleep. Okay? So, over here. Now, that's a stage, that's a 1.5 triangle setup. Have fun with it. Like I said, grab your son, your daughter, your wife, your brother, and learn this move. It's a very basic triangle setup. I like to teach it to the white belts. It's one of the most fundamentals applications. There's different entries. There's more details involved in the triangle. A lot more details. But right now, with this, we're good. Baby steps. Once you guys master this, I will have another lesson where, like I said, I'm going to discuss different entries to the triangle and more details that make the triangle. Like to make it more, your triangle's going to be tighter. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to explain more and more details of angles and so forth. I'm going to discuss how to prevent somebody from stacking you, an arm lock transition and so forth. But right now, this is good for you, the beginner. That way you can start. And then, like I said, once you guys master it, you can go to the next lesson and start spicing up the game. Okay? Now, let me do it one more time. You can start with your partner with the standard setup. Okay? Let's move this out. We can start with like I said, the standard setup. From the standard setup, bring your hips up. Well, from the standard setup, control the neck first. Control the neck. Then bring the hips up. Bring the arm across. Hand to the neck. This foot. The hand is controlling the neck. That same leg, that foot's going to go to the hip. The hand is controlling the wrist, this arm. That foot is going to be pushing south. remember the hamstring is pushing south. Now you're gonna walk away from him so that this leg can climb higher and higher to the back of his neck. Then comes the switch off, hand to the ankle. See that? Now from here, this leg, the back of the knee is gonna be right on that ankle. Now you have your triangle. See? If we go from this angle, look, you're gonna be able to see it better. Right here. Look at the legs. We started from here. Bring the hips up. As you were controlling the neck, bring the hips up. Bring the arm across. This hand goes to the neck. Now this foot to the hip. See that? You're going to push off this hip. Then you're going to start dragging this leg into the shoulder. As you guys are going away from him, wiggling up, up. Bring this calf high to the back of the neck. Look at the switch off. Hand to ankle. Look at where I'm grabbing. I created this target right there. Now this foot comes over, back of the knee. Not the calf, the back of the knee. Look at your triangle right here. See that? Now, from here, both hands come over to the back of the neck. Pinch the knees together, bring the head down, and shoot your hips up. And that's your triangle right there. Then we discussed the 1.5 setup. I like the 1.5 setup because I can use it in a self-defense scenario, and I still use it no gi when I spar with my buddies and I spar with different people. It's a good basic application, and it's good to do the move because even if your opponent, the experienced, and he sees the setup coming, he'll react certain ways and it'll open up some other stuff. So from here, you're in your stage 1 of the guard, and he punches. Boom. See that? Notice how this leg comes quickly behind the back, and I'm blocking this arm right here. Okay? Now from here, make sure the foot is on the hip. Standard stage 1, but right now it's standard stage 2, but it's 1.5 right now because this leg is not blocking anything. This leg is on his back, and this hand is behind the neck. Now I'm going to drive this knee to his arm. As I drive this knee to his arm, this hand slides to the wrist. Now look at the way my foot's going to go through. When I slide that hand to the wrist and I'm driving my knee into his arm's going to be real straight, real like a rubber band, like a bungee cord. It's going to be really tight. Okay? So now from here, look, I can push his hand towards him, and it's going to create that little gap my foot goes through. You see that? Like I said, if your foot can go through, you can extend your leg, see straight, and then I punch his hand into his body. Now I go around the whirl, and look familiar? Triangle setup. Everything else is standard. Hips come up, bring the arm across, control the neck, foot on the hip, walk, bring this leg high behind the neck, exchange, lock it up, and it's time to squeeze. Hips go up, knees together, bring the head down, and it's showtime. Squeeze. Also remember, if you're in a street fight, you also have the option of, if you're here in this position, you guys have the option of punching, throwing elbows, switching, punching. If this guy don't want to give me the arm right now, because we're in a street fight, maybe he saw the move in The Ultimate Fighter or UFC, so he knows what's up. Maybe he don't know the technical ways to defend it, but he's familiar with it. So he knows that one of the important things from triangle is bringing this arm across, so he knows what's up. So when I'm here, he don't want to give you the arm, guess what? If you're punching him, and you're punching him, he's going to want to block his face with both hands. He's going to block, look what he's giving you already. Boom. Bring that arm across. And you guys know what to do from there. You see? So, the triangle choke. If you notice, I have a triangle in my shirt. It's a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu triangle.